Don't you remember me, Mr. Cunningham? I'm Jean Louise Finch. You brought us some hickory nuts one time, remember? I go to school with Walter, I began again. He's your boy, ain't he? Ain't he, sir? Mr. Cunningham was moved to a faint nod. He did know me after all. We brought him home for dinner one time. Maybe he told you about me. Mr. Cunningham displayed no interest in his son, so I tackled his entailment once more in a last-ditch effort to make him feel at home. Entailments are bad, I was advising him, when I slowly awoke to the fact that I was addressing the entire aggregation. The men were all looking at me. Some had their mouths half open. Atticus had stopped poking at Jim. They were standing together beside Bill. Their attention amounted to fascination. Well, Atticus, I was just saying to Mr. Cunningham that entailments are bad and all that, but you said not to worry. It'd take a long time sometimes, that you all ride it out together. I was slowly drying up, wondering what idiocy I had committed. What's the matter? I asked. Atticus said nothing. I looked around and up at Mr. Cunningham, whose face was equally impassive. Then he did a peculiar thing. He squatted down and took me by both shoulders. I'll tell him you said hey, little lady, he said. Then he straightened up and waved a big paw. Let's clear out, he called. Let's get going, boys.
To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee.
And when they saw him afar off, even before he came near unto them, they conspired against him to slay him. And they said one to another, Behold, this dreamer cometh. Come now, therefore, and let us slay him, and cast him into some pit, and we will say, Some evil beast hath devoured him, and we shall see what will become of his dreams.
Genesis chapter 37, verses 18 through 20.
Hello, lovers of the word. Something new. 2026, first video of the year. This book, To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee, is a book that has been very impactful, at least to the American culture. On the surface, it does seem like it's an examination of America, especially the American South in a particular time period. It doesn't take long to realize that this book spans much more than that time period or geographic location. It certainly makes us think about the way we interact with it. And really, when I think of this book and I think about community, I think about the ties that bind, and particularly all the good connotations of that idea in 2026 are various. You know, this idea of community and this idea of unity are almost always celebrated. But I think that gives me, and this book, and the Word of God gives me reason to pause and not gloss over that is just a given, that unity and community are always for the positive. And this scene particularly exemplifies both sides of community and unity. And that's why I picked it, is to give you a little background. There is a gentleman in the jail, Tom Robinson, who has been accused of a heinous crime, and the whole community knows this is most likely not true. But the whole community also knows that he must be convicted for the sake of unity and community because of this color of this man's skin. Yeah, all except for one of my favorite characters. And I told you at the beginning of last year, Joe Gargery from Great Expectation is one of my favorite characters in literature, but Atticus Finch is he's shoulder to shoulder with him, if not leading the pack. Atticus is in front of the jail because he knew that this community, the unity that they had, would demand of some of their members, these men, to take justice, or even the miscarriage of justice into their own hands. And so Atticus is on the porch of the jail. And Atticus is the sole person standing on that porch saying, not tonight. He's confronting these men and things are getting tense. And then his daughter and son and their friends show up. Scout is his daughter's name, and she's the central character of the book. And this is where you stepped in at the beginning. You hear this. And you see both sides of community demonstrated in this moment. One, the men are there because of their community, because of the way they were raised, because of the people and the ideas that they've espoused as friends and brothers and neighbors. And those were so strong in these people that they find themselves on the outside of a jail cell demanding an innocent man's blood that they were going to take. They were not going to wait for a judge or jury. And Atticus stood in between them. And then the kids show up. And then Scout begins to talk in her innocence, his young daughter. And she says she recognizes a man in the crowd. She addresses him and says, we know each other. His entanglement is that her father, Atticus, had represented this man as well. He had defended this man as well. And he says, we'll ride it out together. She said, we know each other. There's the other side of this community that this man that you trusted with your life is saying, this is not the right thing to do. He's standing for something. And I know your son. And we've had your son over for a meal. We fed him. Remember that. We fed him. And it was that side of community. These both this hot and cold, this juxtaposition. On one side, demanding the shedding of innocent blood, but on the other side, highlighting the greatness and beauty of unity and community. That we do have these bonds that you can examine what Atticus is saying. And eventually, the man in the crowd that was recognized says, let's go home, boys. And I love this scene. I love this idea because I think it is so challenging. And instantly I think of Joseph and his coat of many colors, and then other ties that binded his brothers. And we see that the community, ties that bind, unity is not always good. And it's sometimes the things that bind us together. Let me say it this way. At all times, the things that bind us together, that bring us unity and community, need to be examined. Nothing is beyond the spotlight of God's word and truth. Not within the own doors of our own home, our neighbors, our community, our nation, our own hearts. All doors are unlocked by the keys to death, hell, and the grave on the cross. All doors shall be open and their contents examined, including our relationships and community. And sometimes the things that hold us together are not good things. This is the position that the brothers found themselves in. 3 separate ways that they would be tied together in this day. The ties that bind are sometimes truly binding. They can be a prison. The first one is the action of throwing their brother in a pit. Reuben had stood up for him and said, let's not kill him. Let's throw him in this pit. And in community, in unity, the brothers against the innocent said, yes. Here, let's put this dreamer in a pit. So now there's a bond being made, a tie being made between these brothers that we are going to do this action. And this tie is going to tie us for the rest of our lives, this action. We're going to do this. We are going to be in partnership in this action. Eventually, they sell him to merchants that come along. And then they get silver, 20 pieces of silver. And now there's payment. One brother can't have all the payment of those 20 pieces of silver. It was divided between every brother. And as you took payment, you took participation in this secret community, in this unspoken contract. We are now a member of our own little nation because we have this tie, we have this memory, we have this common ground of something that we did. And not only that, we all adopt the narrative that it was for the best. It was the right thing to do. It might have been an ugly thing to do. It's not something that we need to examine, but it's something we did together. And we'll just pack it away. And finally, the lies begin. all of the brothers go to the dad and say, this is his coat stained with the blood of a goat. They, the lies, as you know, if you've ever told one, I'm sure you haven't, only me, but if you've ever told one, they are never an island. They are an archipelago that eventually, it becomes a continent of lies. It's just one on top of the other, on top of the other. And first they kill the goat, and then they bring this coat of many colors to Israel the father and say he's some wild beast might have torn him. How many questions would they have had to have gotten over the course of the next decade? I mean, how many times would you as a parent go over the story one more time? Now, where did you find the jacket? And let's go look at it again. The holes in it, does it look like the teeth of a lion or a bear? Or were there drag marks? Did you look around? Could there be any way? And lie after lie after lie pulls them further from the truth, but closer together. This community, this unity, the ties that bind, in this case, and a lie, and a lie, and a lie, and a lie. An interesting thing, I said, remember when scouts said, we fed your boy. Bread, sharing a meal, has always biblically and in all cultures, I think, signified community. It is I'm going to share my provisions with you because your survival means something to me. We are going to partake in a meal together. And interesting enough, as the brothers threw Joseph into the pit, a little side note, it's one note in the Bible, and I'll put it up here. It says they sat and they ate bread together. And I think this is a signal. It's like, we are now bound in a lie. And the reason I want to talk about this is I think this is one of the strongest and most challenging obstacles to us. All doors must be unlocked by the keys that our God holds. All doors. Every tie that we have, every label that we even put on ourselves that binds us with other people must be under the scrutiny of the light of truth. Before even family, before anything else, we must be servants of God. We must be disciples of truth. And everything falls below that. Before I'm a Democrat, before I'm a Republican, I'm a Christian. Before I'm an American, before I'm evil, legal or legal, I am a Christian. Before I'm a man, before I'm a woman, I am a Christian. Before whatever label we put that puts us in this community, in unity with others, it must be examined first. Is this under the light and scrutiny of truth? Does it stand the test of my God's eye? And it is not that, and this, let me go back to Atticus as we close here, because this is just an encouragement for introspection at the beginning of the year, which is a time to do that. This is the time to do these things. Examine. It's Atticus Finch. I love him not only because he stood for what is true, is he stood in place, meaning that he didn't move up north. He didn't go to New York. He didn't go to where it would be easier. He still loved this community of Macomb, Alabama. Even though he was noticeably different, he did see things differently, but it was his presence that was the catalyst for change in this community. The first step in this beginning of the first year is to stand. Look at all the things that we espouse and say, I'm a part of this group. I'm a part of this community. I have unity with people. Let's scrutinize them under the light of God's truth. And then let's stand for what's right. And then we have to stay. Don't sever any ties. Don't break off friendships. Don't block people on Facebook. Don't do any of that. That we need people like you and people like me in the community to make the community a reflection of our communion with God, I love you. I'll see you in 7 days. Bring it on 2026.